Hello everyone. I'm going to tie you a fly today, a bug, a crappie jig that I find that works pretty well. I'll be using a number 4 streamer hook. Put that in my vise. I'll be using, to go along with that, I will be using fluorescent orange floss. I will be using these tags that come from my dollar store wash mitt. I just clip them off right at the base like this, as close as possible. Clip it off and make sure when you tie that you tie this bottom part first, because it has a tendency to fray and to come apart like that. So this part will be tied down. This will extend to the front, which will last a long time. Along with that, we're going to be using dark brown elk hair as a tail fibers, and then we will also be making eyes for our crappie jig. Our eyes are nothing but a pull chain for a light switch, but we'll take our pliers and we will cut 2 beads together, so we will have, it will look like this. Let me hold these with the pliers so maybe you can see them better. 2 beads still connected, and I'll show you that later, but that will be our eyes for our jig. Now, to begin with, we want to take our fluorescent orange floss and we're going to wrap our hook completely all the way to the eye, and then we're going to wrap it all the way to the back again, because we want to hide all of the hook, not necessarily for camouflaging the hook, but the more fluorescent color we have, the better it can be seen by the crappie. Now, I know these work because I have made some. I have not only caught crappie, but I have caught sand bass when crappie fishing. Okay, we're going to consider that right there a pretty good amount of floss. So then we will take our hair from our elk hair that's dark brown, and we're going to simply cut off several hair. Then we will place them tip first into our hair stacker. This will make the tips of them even, and so it will be more of a uniform tail instead of just being randomly shaped. Well, I messed that up. I dropped the hair, so we have to start over again. Let me cut another piece of another bit of hair. So we got our hair, taking thin out the stragglers. Okay, then we will put that in our hair stacker. We will tap it down in order to make sure they're uniform. And as you see, the ends of the hair are all even. So we will take that bunch of hair and we will lay that on top of our hook. Now, you don't want an extremely long tail. You don't want it running back this far. So I'm going to measure approximately the amount that I have tied orange on the hook, approximately, and then I'm going to put about half of that amount out the tail. I'll show you in just a moment. Three or four soft loops, and then pull it down tight, and then we'll wrap some more loops on there to hold it in place. Now, as you see, that long and that long is how long our tail is. So we take the remainder of the hair that goes above our winding, and we will get rid of that by simply cutting that off right close to the hook. Dispose of that properly. One more. Well, three more. Okay. Now they're gone. Now we will wrap that just to hide all of the tails and the straggling hair that we don't want showing. Now, as I said, we find that frazzled end that we cut from the mitt, which is right there. We will lay that frayed end right at the base, right at our hair that we tied in, and we're going to wrap that several times just to hold it in place. And then we're going to run our thread back to the eye of the hook, to about right there. Now we want to stretch our fluorescent green body laying on top of the hook. We'll stretch it back up, and then we're going to just wrap the end of it to the hook so that it stays on top and in place. Now, nothing is tied down permanently, but as you see, that is stable. So what we will do at this point is I'm going to take and I'm going to put just a half hitch on there just to hold that in place, so we don't lose, maybe a couple, so we don't lose our thread. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it some more to give us the fluorescent orange color out ahead of the body. At this point, I'm going to do something that I've been debating about, but I'm going to try it, and if this works, I think it is a good added bonus. I'm going to take a piece of hackle, from dark brown hackle. I'm going to take a piece of that. I'm going to trim the end of it off so we don't have that heavy butt end of the hackle to have to wrap and hide. So I'll get rid of that colored part, the white part, and I'm going to tie that right at the fluorescent green body. Going to wrap that on there pretty good. Bring my thread back up. Now I'm going to take my hackle pliers. Take my hackle pliers, and I'm going to grab the tip of that hackle. This way we can wrap it, we can let it go, we've got control of it. And I'm going to wrap that several times forward up to where our eyes are going to be put. So 3 or 4 times till we get it right up tight. And then we're going to take our thread and just go around the end of it to hold it in place. Okay, the hackle pliers fell off. We'll put a half hitch on there just to secure it. Okay, so now we have our tail, our body, and our hackle. Now comes our eyes that we're going to put on. As I said, it's 2 beads from a pull chain. A very inexpensive way to make eyes, not only for visibility to the fish, but it also gives it a little weight so that it will fall beneath the surface of the water and get down to where those crappie are waiting on their lunch. So we wrap it one direction, and we come back behind it and wrap the other side of the eyes. We go the other way, we just figure eighting on there. After we get it started, then we'll pull those back up so they're kind of square. We'll keep figure eighting our floss onto there and then wrap several times behind the eyes. They are secured. Now we will take our whip and we will make our loop. You don't have to have one of these to do this. You can wrap it 4 or 5 times with make 4 or 5 loops with your fingers and do it like this. But we're going to tie this behind, we want it behind the eyes. That one came off, so we got 1 half hitch. Let's just do it simple. 5 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll take that loop and we will put it over the eyes as well as over the hook, and we will pull that 5 loops tight. Then we'll make 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put that over the eyes again, behind the eyes, behind the eye of the hook, and we will just work that down till it's tight. Now, at this point, we will take and cut our fluorescent orange yarn right up against the fly. And there, folks, is a very easy, quick way to make a fly, a bug, for crappie fishing. You get the orange, fluorescent orange on the belly. You have the tail, the hair tail. You have the hackle for around behind the eyes, the body, fluorescent orange, and then the eyes. So when this is fishing, it's probably going to hang like this with your line up here in the water, and then you're going to be fishing it up and down. It will do this number, but that should, with the shiny eyes, the fluorescent orange, the fluorescent green, and the brown hackle and hair, that should attract a crappie. I hope you enjoyed this,